Hey, welcome back to the People in Tech YouTube channel. In this video, I just want to talk about what you can expect in 2023. Let's get into it.
Are you listening?
Hey, if this is your first time coming here, my name is Caleb King. I'm an engineering director over at Forbes magazine. I've been in software development over a decade, and what I want to do is help 1 million people break into tech. The reason I want to do this is breaking into tech for me was very, very challenging. I went through a lot of obstacles, and I feel like most people don't have to go through the same obstacles that I went through. If anything, I think a lot of you can get to where I am faster and not only make more money, but have more success. And I just want to be the person that can help people do that. So let's talk about how we got here. Recap, this is the very first time I've been in front of the video. Actually, let's move around and get some better lighting here. There we go. So, long story short, guys, 2018, I started off with a podcast, People in Tech. The way I came up with that title was one of my friends was always bragging how she worked in tech and she knows people and tech, and I was like, ooh, that's a good title. Ended up growing, ended up learning a lot. What I love about a podcast is you have a reason to talk to people you really have no business talking to. So, podcast did that for about 2.5 years. One of my most downloaded episodes was Cryptocurrency and Explain and Bitcoin Top 10 Questions, which is funny because fast forward 2023, who knows where Bitcoin is going to go, but that was kind of like the hot thing at that time, and it's still one of the most downloaded episodes. Fast forward to 2020, we get hit with the pandemic. I have all this additional time. I'm still doing my job. I'm still 9 to 5, but I wanted to learn some new skills. So I spent time learning how to animate. I used to draw a lot growing up, so I wanted to kind of flex those creative muscles again. So what I ended up learning was Adobe Illustrator on iPad specifically, Adobe Fresca, Adobe Character Animator, which I'll dive into in a second, and then a little bit of Premiere Pro. Now, if you guys see previous videos, let me know in the comments how close I look to my animated character, because I try to give him the beard, try to give him the fade. It took about maybe 20 iterations really to get to a good point where I'm like, that looks like me. But my thought was, if I do animation, all I have to do is write the script, record the audio, hit a few buttons to record, and I'll be able to produce content super fast. That was not the case. But luckily, I met my video editor. So I'm going to link him below, but you guys need to check out Kamal Hakim. Kamal has his own YouTube channel. The dude is hilarious. He's super creative. He's more or less the artist behind making some of the videos more engaging. One of our most watched videos on this channel is what does a QA engineer actually do? You guys love that video for whatever reason. I appreciate the love. He did a lot of that editing. And more or less, without him, People in Tech wouldn't be where it is today. So make sure you give Kamal a follow in the link below. The other thing that kind of happened over time was we figured out what you guys liked and what you didn't like. So going back to goals for 2023. So number one, I'm bringing back the video podcast. You guys have made it very clear. You like the podcast. You missed me doing a weekly podcast, but I'm not only going to do the audio podcast, we're going to start doing video podcasts. So I'm looking for people to interview. Let me know if there's people I should be interviewing in the comments below. But I'm just going to try my best over the next quarter or so to find some people to interview. And those are going to be the long form content. Number two, in terms of a goal, you guys have made it clear. And when I say you guys, I mean the 5 people who reach out to me on Twitter from time to time. But some people made it clear that they want to see more short form content. And part of the reason I'm trying to get over my fear in being in front of a camera is I just kind of realized, one, it helps me be a little bit better in presenting and becoming a person I want to be, so I can do some of the things I want to do, like public speak and do more presentations. But two, you guys want short form content. Short form is pretty straightforward, so I hired another video editor. I got Kevin, who I'm going to link his info below, but we're going to run an experiment. You got Gary Vee, Alex Hormozi, who's been up and coming, but you got the information niche type content. This is People in Tech. I focus mostly on tech, business, culture, specifically software engineering and people who work with software, because that's where my experience lies. So we're going to run an experiment. We're going to try to make 60 reels over the next 2 months. See which ones hit, see what ones don't. Get your feedback on what you guys think about it. But yeah, it's very clear you guys want short form. It's clear that YouTube and every other platform is moving to short form. We're going to jump on the bandwagon and see how it does for this channel. And then goal number 3, I'm launching the newsletter. Right now, if you're watching this video, you are what I like to call a day one supporter, because this is the very first video with me being in front of the camera. And look, bear with me on the camera thing, guys. Let me show you a sneak peek real quick. I'm trying my best to set up an office, but when you are a father, you have one kid, a pregnant wife, and another kid on the way. You just don't have all the time. But Here's a studio. It's coming together, but I'm shooting on a Sony ZV-F1. This, for anybody who wants to be a content creator, you can use your phone. You don't need to spend a whole bunch of money getting equipment to get started. That was probably my mistake. But yeah, I'm trying to set up this office. Like, you guys have no idea how hard it was to get a TV in a closet and removing shelves to do that. Trying to make this wall fancy like other content creators, but this is all work in progress. Like, you know, if anybody knows me, I'm like big affirmation person, so I thought this was kind of clever, but it's kind of corny too. I'm a big Marvel fan, so that's why I said make it happen. This lights up, but it more or less says believe in yourself. I'm that kind of guy, so like if you were to come in my office, you'd be like, you have a lot of quotes, and those are the types of things that help build my own confidence. Do what works for you. That's all I gotta say. All that being said, the newsletter is where I've been putting most of my time. Just by you being what I like to call a day one supporter, go to techdad.pro/YouTube100. All one word, and you get the free, the pro, and the tech pro membership of my newsletter. 100% free, just with the code I'm linking below. Newsletter is geared for anybody who works in software, but similar to the YouTube channel. Tech, culture, business are the three topics I like to cover, and there's not gonna be any sparticles. There might be a few sparticles. If you don't know what sparticles are, that's what I call them, but they're pretty much spam articles. With the introduction of ChatGPT, everybody trying to tell you, this is how I'm making 100K a month, this is how I'm making $1 million a year doing this, and they more or less are just copying the most popular questions, throwing in ChatGPT, copying that post, and then throwing it up on a blog and trying to say, I wrote 50 blogs in a week. Probably not gonna do that, but what I will tell you is I will be using AI to maybe help speed up my workflow, but all blogs that I write are gonna be unique from my perspective. You can even tell on how I write and how I say things. But again, techdad.pro/YouTube100, all one word, and you'll get everything on my newsletter 100% free. And there's two parts of it. There's a weekly newsletter, which you'll get weekly updates on what's going on in tech and just my perspective on it. And it'll be categorized in tech, business, culture, like I said earlier. And then there's this access to the blog. Now the blog to me is kind of cool because it's a lot of posts helping people who are either trying to be engineering leaders or who are currently like engineering leaders or managers, or people who want to level up in their career. So I'm a big fan of Notion. I have some Google spreadsheets, but you know, think of other popular newsletters where there's like premium content and templates. You can get all that for free just by using the code below. And really what I want to do is, again, that's my initiative to help 1 million people get into tech. All the information is out there. All I feel like I've done is try to consolidate pieces of it, give you my opinion on it, and hopefully you can take it and run it with it and have way more success than me. And then that leaves in goal number 4, right? Trying to grow on Twitter. I've tried to pick other platforms to grow on. I think I'm most famous on LinkedIn, which isn't much right now, but I kind of want to grow on Twitter because that seems like it's the easiest one to validate ideas. And for the tech community, it seems like that's where a lot of you guys are. You see me a little bit more active on Twitter. Some posts I hit, they're just misses completely, and some do a little bit better, but feel free to drop a follow, King Caleb 3 on Twitter if you're interested in following my journey over the next year. And then goal number 5. I feel like 2020 was one of those years where everybody got out of shape, everybody wasn't working out. 2021, some people rebounded, some people were still like in pajamas all day. I was definitely more in my pajamas. Now I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna dress up today. So maybe too much information for you guys, but more or less just getting better health, so eating better, working out. I probably won't share too much of that on the YouTube channel, to be honest with you, because you guys are here for tech related things, but those are the 5 goals. Like I said, video podcast, reels, newsletter, 100% free. Check out the link below. Twitter, and then overall just more health for 2023. I hope you like this video. Please give it a like, subscribe, comment. Let us know who we should interview, what we should talk about. Anybody who's a content creator, just start making content, man. Like it says, just make it happen. Just start doing it. All right, I'm gone. Check out.